All right, this is the All Powers S2000. It's a power station. Some people call them solar generators. It's a battery, it's an inverter, and an MPPT all in the same unit, and that's what makes this really special. So let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, a few bullet points while we open this up. It has a 1500 watt hour battery, a 2000 watt inverter, and the maximum solar input of 500 watts. The Delta Max from EcoFlow and the Bluetti AC200 Max outperform this in basically every category. But the price of this is significantly lower. Today we're testing the S1500 and the S2000 from All Powers, same company but different models. Which one performs better, which one is more affordable? Well, I've had several months of testing to find that out, and there are some key differences which I want to share with you. So here we go. First off, the battery chemistries are different. This one is using lithium-ion cells, while this one is using tenorary battery, which is a 3-transition metal oxide. So you should know that it differs, but they both work very well. Okay, I'm just gonna give you some quick shots straight from the specifications list. Keep in mind there's gonna be a lot of numbers, just bear with me, okay? The S2000 has a 1500 watt hour battery. The S1500 has a 1000 watt hour battery. So it's about 50% larger on the S2000. Now, the key difference when it comes to the inverter is that this one has a continuous output of 2400 watts, which is insane. Now, this one has a continuous output of 1500 watts, so it's significantly less. But hey, what could you really power with these batteries? I think we should cover that first. So here we go. Here's the S1500 charging 4 different devices at the same time. 2 Ryobi batteries, my phone, and the 4th cord is going to my electric bike. Now, it's only using 264 watts, so we're far from the 1500 watt limit, but sometimes we're not. Here's a good example to why a larger inverter is almost always preferable. I have this electric extended chainsaw that I love using, and these type of batteries, they're perfect for it because you can go deep into the woods. You don't have to care about electricity. You don't have to run a extension cord all the way out. You can just take your batteries. Now, the issue is, not in this shot specifically, but the chainsaw frequently goes up to 1600, 1700 watts, and the S1500 shuts off. It can't supply that power. However, the S2000 can. So I mean, if you don't plan out to go into the woods with your electric chainsaw, but you might want to be in the garage, and actually something like a heat gun will be able to shut the S1500 off. On the mode 1, it uses about 800 watts. About 1000 watts actually. Now on level 2, it goes up to 1600 watts and it shuts off. However, S2000 should be able to power it. So again, it goes up to 900 watts. Yeah, it's 1700 watts and it is able to power it. Not to say that the S2000 can handle everything. I present to you the boiler. We're at 2100 watts. What the fuck? So you shouldn't be able to. It just occurs to me, I didn't actually ever try this. I just assumed they wouldn't be able to do it. Because we're pulling 2100 watts and the water is now boiling. So I'm just gonna... Now there is a preload of 145 watts. Let's turn it on and see if it survives. It shouldn't. So we're up to 2200 watts. 2230 watts. It shouldn't be able to do this. It's crazy. It's a 2000 watt inverter. It's boiling. It's boiling. It just turned off. That's crazy. That must mean it's a 2400 watt inverter. Dude, what else could we put on it? Now there is a preload of 424 watts. It shouldn't survive this. So we're pulling 2400 watts and now it shut off. All right, so that was a little too much. Good for all powers. That's really surprising. I didn't think it would be able to do that. So it survived 2200 watts for a couple of minutes, and it's a 2000 watt inverter. So thumbs up. Unfortunately, we have Antarctica level of winter in Sweden right now. So there is absolutely no point in even trying to put a solar panel outside because it's not even going to be enough voltage to trigger the solar input of any battery. So that's a shame. So I won't be able to do any solar testing in this video. While the price is way higher on this, I believe it's 850 and 450 pounds for this one. So significantly more, about double. You're not getting double the battery by upgrading to this. However, you are getting a much more capable solar generator. You are. Now the output, they do have about the same output configuration. You have 4 AC outlets up top. You have USB-C, USB, DC on the sides. The solar inputs are 650 watts to 70 volts, which means you can use a full-scale solar panel on this one. However, on this one it's just 300 watts. So it's most likely, which makes it more suitable for the foldable style of solar panel that you might take to the beach. However, I'm always looking for as high solar input as possible. Also, the voltage is really important. The higher the voltage is, the more panels you could put in series. Now, 70 volts doesn't necessarily give you an option to put multiple solar panels in series. Maybe 2 small ones, but certainly not 2-3 large-scale solar panels. And that's something you can do on something like the Bluetti AC200 Max and the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. However, those solar generators are 3 times as much. So it might not be a fair comparison. But on this one, I think it's pretty good for the money, yeah. Something that just annoyed the hell out of me was the S2000 has a solar input with a XT60 connector, while on the S1500, it's an Anderson connector, which is really weird. I don't get why a company would change that all of a sudden. Why not just keep the same plug on all the power stations? Now, another huge benefit is that the charger is integrated. So all you need is a charging cable. It's 300 watts worth of charging. On the S1500, you have this massive brick. It's not integrated. It's also 300 watts. This I find to be slightly higher than 300 watts, and this one slightly lower than 300 watts. But yes, about the same charging capacity. On the S1500, you have lights, which I guess could be useful. Now, something that's really bothering me, it's a minor thing, but there's only 3 buttons. One is to connect your phone to it, which the app sucks, to be honest. It doesn't tell you anything else other than that you can turn on and off the AC and DC output, which is the most important thing. But the EcoFlow and Bluetti app lets you configure the battery however you want. You can have a bunch of settings to be changed, and that's really great. But the All Powers app is really, really bad. It just lets you turn on and off, which is really good if you're in an RV and just want to have the battery stored in a hard to reach place. You can connect your phone and remotely turn them on and off. However, there are only 3 buttons. One is to connect your phone, one is AC, and one is DC. And the DC is obviously the USB ports and all that. The AC are the 4 AC outlets. Now you have to, I can demonstrate, you have to hold the AC button for a good 3 seconds before it turns on. There you go. Minor thing, but it really does get irritating. Now this is the All Powers 200 watt solar panel. I can't recommend it, unfortunately. I don't think it's a 200 watt panel. I'm not getting anywhere near 200 watts. In direct sunlight, I'm happy if I'm getting up to 130. I think I've reached 140 watts max, which is far from 200. And Here's what it looks like. It's not rated to be outside in the rain either, so that's another negative in my book, but most solar panels aren't, so I can't blame Allpowers for that. But I think it's just better to get a couple of rigid panels with glass above them, so you can have them in the rain. They can be outside. They don't have to be particularly large. If you just want 200 watts, on this one it's just 300 watts maximum. And a 300 watt panel, well, that's fairly large, but a 200 watt panel, I see you can like walk around with, so it's not much heavier and bigger than the foldable panel. To end on a good note, they are terrific solar generators for the money. They are highly affordable. Like I said, 850 and 450 pounds for this one. Incredible that they can put so much, you know, it's a battery, it's an inverter, it's an MPPT, everything for 450 pounds. That's insane. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you again very soon. Have an awesome day. Bye.